Stop number 3 on the Last of Us Light series is nighttime racing at Nashville at the Nashville Super Speedway in Nashville, Tennessee. As we're set for racing here, we're racing for 38 laps around this mile and a third racetrack. As the Last of Us Light series has so far given us 2 winners in the first 2 races. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3 after a good race at Daytona and another good race at Rockingham. Let's see what happens here today on this here racetrack as we're set for 38 laps of racing for the running of So ordinarily Nashville, of course, is the home of country music, of course. That's what this track is what the city of Nashville is known for, as well as, of course, Opryland as well. And of course, you surely had the pleasure of visiting Nashville way back in December of '92, by the way. But today we throw race cars in this mix here as we're here for the 3rd round of the Last of Us Light series. And on the pole race event, it's Jesse Turner in car number 80 at 160 miles per hour. He'll be alongside Ryan George in number 98, a pair of Oldsmobiles on the front row. Row 2, Johnny Gardner, number 20, and Matt Haas, who almost won Rockingham, in car number 8, Pontiac and Chevrolet. 3rd row is Easton Barber in car 33, and number 29, it is Dion Moon, Chevrolet and Chrysler on the 3rd row. The Chrysler's been pretty strong this season. Mitchell Collins is 02, the winner at Daytona, and alongside is number 3, the Onsat Pontiac of Onsat Chevrolet, of Julius Anderson. Going to the 5th row, we'll have car number 12, Austin Clono, the Red Besses Buick, and beside him will be Andrew Rich in the Split Flower Spark Plugs Oldsmobile, car number 23. The next row down, we'll have Eric Sadler in car number 25, the winner at Rockingham, and number 9, Carter Friesen, Chevy and Oldsmobile. Tyler Betson, number 55, Ford, and number 77, Chelsea Bowles, and the Chrysler, number 77, has the next row down, and the next row after that will be car 34, the race class Buick of Ryan Brommer, and number 36, Jacob Sturgeon in the Pontiac. Next row down has the Brummer brothers, Wade in 65 and 27 of Joseph Brummer, both in Chevrolets. Next row down has Vince Almarego in number 10, the Budweiser Oldsmobile, and number 2 is alongside 21, I should say, is Nick Badson. Next row down, Jordan Lopez in 96, and he'll be alongside number 5, Alex Miller, who came off with a great run at Rockingham with a 11-place run from last place starting position. Next row down, Trey Wright, number 2, and number 16, Dallas McIntosh, Ford and Chrysler. Next row down has Daniel Price, number 85, and Emmanuel Hartnett, a pair of Chevrolets, 85 of Price and 83 of Hartnett. Next row down is Ashland Boyd, number 4, and number 50, Jeff Davis, and starting shotgun in the field will be car number 19, TJ Dent, and 28, Peter Onjack. That is the starting lineup for today's 3rd round of the NNSCRA Last of Us Light series. Jesse Turner will have one of our in-car cameras in today's event, as will Chelsea Bowles, and as will sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. As will Andrew Rich. Those 3 will have our in-car cameras here. Jesse Turner, Andrew Rich, and Chelsea Bowles will have the cameras for today's event.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
So the fields come off pit road here as we're getting set for some great racing here today at National Super Speedway under the lights in the central portion of Tennessee as the field of 30 will line up for racing here. Field comes off corner number 4 here. Jesse Turner will lead him down. 38 laps of distance here today as we're underway for round 3 of the Last Miss Light Series. Pole speed for this event was just over 160 miles per hour around this racetrack here. Gardner looks low on the racetrack here, trying for second place on Ryan George as they come off the 4th turn. And Jesse Turner leads his first lap of the race here. First lap tied at 145.9 miles per hour. They're going to be going road course racing for the first time this season after this very event here at Nashville. As they come off the 4th turn, here comes Ryan George to the inside of Jesse Turner, side by side for the lead. The front row starters, there's George in 98 and Turner in 80. And there you see Dion Moon in one of those strong Chryslers, the Mopar colors. Up the 3rd spot, here comes Johnny Gardner outside for 3rd spot. Julius Sanderson in 5th position. And then you got Matt Haas on the high side, who nearly won down in Rockingham. And 3 wide there, Eric Sadler, the 25 car, Andrew Richard up on the high side of Carter Friesen. Austin Colano, Ryan Brommer is also in this mix as well. 77 Chelsea Bowles is in there as well, and another one of those Chryslers in the field. On board Chelsea Bowles' car. She rides in 14th position at the moment here as they come off turn number 2. She's chasing the 9 of Carter Friesen. Friesen, the only driver from Canada in this field. Bowles goes into turn number 1, 175 miles per hour, down to about 142 miles an hour through 1 and 2. See how fast she goes down the backstretch. 165 miles an hour, 168, 970, 171 miles an hour to turn number 3, and down about 149 in the middle of 3 and 4 as she comes off the 4th turn. She has that outside lane to her advantage. See how fast she goes into turn number 1 this time by. 177 miles an hour that time by turn number 1. And her last lap speed just over 157 miles per hour. So Bowles right now in 15th position at the moment. Back to the leaders there as the leaders now as the leads battle for the lead between Ryan George in 98 and Johnny Gardner in 20. Oldsmobile and Pontiac. That's the front 2 cars at the moment. Easton Barber and Jesse Turner and Austin Colano battle out for 3rd spot. That's Chevy, Oldsmobile, and Buick in this mix of cars. As you see, Barber trying to take 3rd spot away from both the 80 and the 12 cars. And while this three-way racing is all but good, it does let the leaders pull away. As you see, Colano get that bite off that 4th turn. Great, excellent exit come off that 4th turn by Austin Colano as they come off the 2nd turn now. Barber stays glued to the side of Colano's car as they come off in the 3rd turn now. Watching this battle for position right there between the 12 and 33, 25, 80, and a lot of those other cars up behind him. And one of the cars coming down and one of those cars on the apron of the track, that's Wade Brummer in 65. He's coming down pit road, 45 miles an hour on pit road for that unsponsored Chevy. And Brummer heads down pit road, and he's out of the race. Wade Brummer, not a good start to the season for the 65 team. That car's been very, very fast all season long, though. It's just having that. You just got to find that hard to find racing luck. May get it as the season wears on, though, but still disastrous. And it's a header failure on that number 65 Chevrolet. So header failure is somewhere along the line of an engine failure. In some ways, there's a lot of different types of engine failures on these race cars. A header failure is one of them because you got your a lot of your stuff in there. You got your rocker arms and all that other stuff in there, and of course you also got a camshaft failure, which is a part of the engine that measures the engine speed, your RPMs, and quite a few other things that can cause an engine failure on these cars. Let's put it that way. I don't have time to explain every one of them. Don't want to bore you all to death. Anyway, nothing of kidding. Let's get back on with the racing here. Ryan George has the lead, and still Gardner's now second position now, and here comes Austin Colano. Close up in, as has the 33 car, Easton Barber. All GM products represented in this mix here. All GM products are represented in this mix. Oldsmobile leading, Pontiac second, Buick third, and Chevrolet in fourth. And then you got a fifth place car, and then you also got a Oldsmobile in fifth with Jesse Turner. The first non-GM product in the field is Dion Moon in sixth position in the Chrysler. And leading Ford in the field, by the way, is the leading Ford, believe it or not, is the 21 car of Nick Batson in 17th position. That's the leading Ford in the field so far. So the GM and Mopar products have been outperforming the Ford Motor Company so far this season in the last of the Slide Series, and so the Ford teams obviously need some more R&D, research and development on these cars. And Jesse Turner has caught up behind the second, third, and fourth place cars here of Colano, Barber, and Gardner. And here comes Turner to the inside of the racetrack here. Off turn number 4, riding with Jesse Turner in car number 80. Woohoo! Up that track goes that 33 cars that come off the second turn. $17 laps in the books, and now down to 21 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway, as we're early on, almost halfway through, I should say, this third round of Blast from Slides. And so far, it's been a wonderful series so far. As we're now in the third race of the season, Austin Colano is close up behind the number 98 car of Ryan George. Ryan George driving a car out of Kev Shear Racing Tech. Or maybe Triggered Motorsports. I have no idea what the heck that team's name is. But anyway. But Ryan George out of the state of Pennsylvania trying to hold up Austin Colano in the Buick. And that car's been fast as well. That number 12 car has this season as well. It's just getting to finishes the show for it. And here he comes in the inside lane. Austin Colano side by side with Ryan George in the turn number 1. That's letting Easton Barber, Johnny Gardner, and Jesse Turner back in the race as well. And they're side by side off turn number 2. Oldsmobile on the outside. Buick on the low side of the track. Then you got Chevy in third. Down the low side, Ryan George has got that highly working to his advantage, and Easton Barber's going to try that. Just going to try that form on the outside too, as well. On that 33 car, see what momentum he can generate. And now he and Kalana are side by side now, and that 33, that outside lane seems to be possibly may possibly work to a driver's advantage, possibly. But Colano does hold off the 33 for the moment now. Meanwhile, the 33 is now back in the clutches of the 12 and the 80 cars as well. So great racing among the top 5 cars here so far. As you see right there behind, Dion Moon in 29 was in 6th position. 7th is Ryan Brommer in the other Buick. So both Buicks are in the top 10 in this race here. So good day for the Buick division. Eric Sadler's in 8th position. 9th right now is Julius Anderson. Darn pace car. 10th is Matt Haas. 11th is Carter Friesen. 12th is Jacob Sturgeon. 13th, Andrew Rich. 14th is Nick Batson. He's moved his way up through the field nicely. Joseph Brummer in 15th position. 16th is TJ Dent. 17th right now is Mitchell Collins. 18th, Trey Wright. Battle for 19th right there between the 55 of Tyler Batson, 27 Chelsea Bowles, and the 5 car of Alex Miller. On board with Chelsea Bowles in car number 77 as she rides right now in 19th position. At the moment, battling side by side with Tyler Batson in 55. That's one of the 2 KAB Enterprises cars for this Last One Flights ARCA series. And here comes Alex Miller. You see him in that 5 car right there on the high side of your screen. On top of your screen, he's looking low in the 77 car now for position as well. Miller right now running in 20th position as they're still side by side off the second turn, but he cannot hold that low side well. And that's him and Tyler Batson side by side. Ford versus Oldsmobile, while Bowles' Chrysler LeBaron drives away for the moment. Basson's dropped to 21st position right now. Peter Onjag is 22nd, 23rd, Vince Almarego. At least he's running in this event like he wasn't, unlike Rockingham. Daniel Price, 24th, and 25th is Emmanuel Hartnett. And you got Ashlyn Boyd and Dallas McIntosh. Those 2 have been a bit off pace, as has Jordan Lopez and Jeff Davis. That's your field rundowns. We're closing up on 10 laps to go. Ryan George continues to lead as he's led most laps so far. Easton Barber and Austin Clown still going out for second place. In the meantime, Jesse Turner in number 80 looking low on Johnny Gardner. And meantime, Eric Sadler in 25, though, he has closed up on this bunch really well. 5 cars you can throw a blanket over, trying to chase down the leader of the race. But that's easier said than done. Average speed so far with 10 laps to go, 157.7 miles per hour. Fast lap race so far is set by Ryan George, just over 160.2 miles per hour. You don't think mile and a third tracks are fast. Think again. I mean, that's track here in Nashville has got some speed. And like we saw earlier on one of the in-car cameras there, 177 miles an hour into turn number 1. That is if you're in the draft. But they're chasing the 98 car right now, but don't think Easton Barber and Austin Clown, they're still running side by side. As letting Ryan George pull away, as we said, the side-by-side and three-way racing is all well and good, though. But the thing you must understand, you keep running side-by-side, it's going to let the leader pull away. and before you know it, though, you're not going to have the And before you know it, you're not going to have you're not going to be close enough as you were just a few laps ago. Easton Barber's going to try to close up by that 98 car of Ryan George as we're now coming up on 8 laps to go here at Nashville Speedway. Intervals close up to 27 hundredths of a second at the moment, and almost 3/4 of a second between first and third. Again, all three makes of General Motors cars represented in the top 8 cars. Oldsmobile first, Chevy second, Buick in third, Pontiac fourth, Chevy in fifth, Oldsmobile sixth, and a Buick in seventh, and a Chevy in eighth. Then you got one Chrysler product in the 9th position. That's Dion Moon in 29, and 10th is Jacob Sturgeon in a Pontiac. That number 36 car owned by H.B. Bailey. But meantime, Barber is closing up on the 98 car of Ryan George once again. See if he can get a run to try to take the lead away, which nobody's had from Ryan George most of the night, though, as they go into turn number 1. Leads continues to shrink now to 21 hundredths of a second. In the meantime, it's now less than a half a second now between first and third positions at the moment. As they're closing up on 5 to go this time by. It's maybe one heck of a battle we're gonna have here at Nashville. Barber looking low on the track now. 5 to go in this race. Here he comes. He's going to get him to the inside of Ryan George. Now, can he get the draft he needs to try to pull ahead of that 98 car? Side by side off the second turn. Easton Barber on the low side. Ryan George on the high side. Colano trying to think about who he wants to go with. Olds, Chevy, and Buick up in that top 3 spots here. They are running, as we said, nose to tail. But Barber cannot get that run he needs to try to get the lead. This place reminds me a lot of Kentucky in some ways, as far as how they race here in NR. It reminds me a lot of Kentucky, and the fact that catching is one thing, but trying to make the pass is a very tricky process. And it's to say they can get a run no problem, but trying to make the pass is darn near impossible. It's like you got to have some little drafting trick you need. But here comes Colano. He's on the high side of Barber now. He's going to try to follow Ryan George through. They get the running side by side. It's going to be the kiss of death there for the second place on. Rear bumper came from Ryan George's car. He's got Austin Colano now to deal with in that number 12 car as he's coming up for 2 laps to go. Colano trying to close up now, be the white flag this time by. Ryan George in 98, Austin Colano in the 12, Easton Barber in 33. They're right there together again. Colano and Barber now go side by side. White flag for Ryan George. He has 1 lap to go here at Nashville. Barber back to second position now, but the man out in front, Ryan George, looking to score his first victory of the season in the NNSCRA Last of Us Light Series. It'll be 3 winners in the first 3 races so far in the season. And he is going to do it here. Off to number 4, car number 98. Ryan George takes round 3 of Last of Us Light Series here at Nashville. And Easton Barber just gets Austin Colano for second place. Colano will take 3rd. 4th position will go to Johnny Gardner. 5th will go to Jesse Turner. 6th is Eric Sadler. 7th will go to Ryan Brommer. 8th to Dion Moon. 9th to Julius Anderson. And 10th to Jacob Sturgeon. Average speed 157.268. Caution free here at Nashville Super Speedway. Margin of victory, 0.34 seconds at the start-finish line between those teams. Rest of the finishing order for you here. Matt Haas will come home in 11th. Andrew Rich, 12th. Carter Friesen, 13th. TJ Dent, 14th. Joseph Brummer, 15th. 16th will go to Nick Batson. Chelsea Bowles, 17th. Mitchell Collins, 18th. Excuse me. 19th will go to Trey Wright. Tyler Batson, 20th. Rest of the finishing order, Daniel Price, Alex Miller, Vince Almarego, Dallas McIntosh, Emmanuel Hartnett, Ashlyn Boyd, Jordan Lopez, Jeff Davis was the last car on the lead lap in 28th. Then Peter Onjak somehow ended up 3 laps down in 29th position. Not sure what happened to the GM Parts Sports Image team. And then, of course, a header failure for Wade Brummer puts the 65 car in dead last. So three races this season so far, and 3 winners here in the Last Bus Light Series, and what's going to be what I feel is going to be a very competitive series this season in the NNSCRA Last Bus Light Series, and this series is now 3 seasons old. This is the 3rd season. Next race on the tour will be at Lime Rock Park in Lime Rock, Connecticut. It's where we're going to be at for the 4th stop on the tour, before we head to the 2nd plate race on the tour at Talladega, which will be stop number 5. So congratulations again to Ryan George, the winner here today at Nashville Super Speedway. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got interviews, gaming videos, whatever the NNSCRA set goals are for this channel. And please be sure to check out the Coors Light. And please be sure to check out the Pizza X Series and the Hershey's Cup Series, as well as the Skittle Super Speedway Series, and coming soon, the Duracell Cup Series, coming soon to this channel as well. And also be sure to check out Michael Roman's All Bogus or All Pro Series, and Levi McIntyre's Marvel Studios Cup Series, and of course the Casual GTX Cup Series run by yours truly. Which of course, if you know all the series we run in the NNSCRA, my own series is the absolute worst. Nah, just kidding. Anyway. So we'll see you at Lime Rock Park in Lime Rock, Connecticut. Congratulations again to Ryan George, winner of round number 3 of the NNSCRA Last Bus Light Series. For now, Shane Squalls in a reduction of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.